What color is that on the front of my Massey? What's going on here? You're about to find out. How is that for an intro? I hope you liked that. Good teaser. This video is going to cover moving some dirt with the Massey using the Kubota bucket and the Kubota tooth bar from Steve. Thank you, Steve. And I'm also going to talk about top speed on the Massey and how the filled tires performed driving fast on the road. So let's get to it. Here's the backstory. A couple of weeks ago, and I'll put the video clip up here, a car was driving a little too fast one night by our house. It's a 25-mile-per-hour zone. And he veered off into these rocks that my neighbor Ralph has, keeping cars from entering his yard, and ended up rolling his car, as you can see. So in the process, these large rocks got moved and Ralph needed them moved back. So an insurance claim could have, taken care of it, but that would have been a whole thing. And so we just went over there with the Massey and the pallet forks one night. I actually just went over to test the waters, and I ended up, it was so easy, the lift was, that I just went ahead and moved them all in the same night. I had Carolyn out in traffic. Not that we really have traffic, but stopping cars so I could do the job. So anyway, Ralph mentions to his friend Larry that I've got the tractor. Larry needs this shed area leveled. So I call up Larry, said, hey, I can come up. I can't take, he had some stumps. So there was no way I could take out the stumps, but I knew I could level some dirt. So I went up there the other night and we took care of that. Now we got it mostly level. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but he's planning to box it up and then fill it with stone. So I think it's close enough for that. So that's what you're going to see in this video. Now, to get to Larry's house, let's talk about Massey top speed. So from Steve's house to Larry's, I measured it out at 1.14 miles. So I hit the stopwatch and it took me 9 minutes and 42 seconds to get to Larry's, well, to the entrance to his road. So that comes out to 7.05 miles per hour. Now that is versus the Massey spec of 9.1, which I'm sure was measured with no loader, no ballast, and a horse jockey. And no mower deck. So 7.05 is not bad. And I even had a big hill in between there. So speaking of that hill, going down up the hill was fine. Going down the hill, I noticed that the fluid in the filled tires kind of jostled a little bit and I could feel it sort of rocking me some. So when you hit that top speed, which by the way was about 8.6 according to GPS, you might get that from the filled tires, so keep that in mind. It wasn't alarming or wasn't like going to roll me over or anything like that, but it gets your attention. So I also used cruise control, worked perfect, no issues there. The only thing, you set it and let go and you're off, and then to release it, it's not the brake, it's the pedal. You press the pedal to release cruise control. So that's how that worked. So let's cut to that video and then we'll wrap it up at the end and talk about the elephant in the room. All right, everybody, I'm over here at Larry's house. Larry's about a mile down the road. You want to say hi?
How y'all doing?
All right. So Larry's going to put in a shed about like that, right?
Yeah.
Is it going to be the barn style like that, or?
It's probably going to be a little different than that.
Okay, but about that size.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to level this off a little bit, and then Larry's going to box it up and put some gravel down. Now, I should have started the camera a little while ago, but we took a tiny little stump out there. You hardly could even call it a stump, but it was. And then this one, that was just too much for the old Massey. So we dug around it and then chainsawed it off, and it's not a factor anymore. That'll be good enough. So now we're just going to try to level the pad, level this area here a little bit and see how it goes. And one more thing, obviously, we've got the orange bucket on because Steve's got the tooth bar. Let me show you the tooth bar. Well, you can hardly see it because it's got so much mud on it. But Steve's got the tooth bar, and I don't. So I think I probably will get one on my bucket. That'll be the next job.
monster roots in it.
Going high back there? Oh, I thought I had dug into that enough. All right, so here we are. It's not perfectly level, but what are we saying? That's a pretty good start for the framing up. We got some roots over there, and so there's a little hump there. It's mostly level here, mostly level there. Little hump in the middle, but it's going to get framed up and then gravel in the center. So that's about, I don't know, 8 buckets of dirt from our donor site back in the woods. And that was it. So we have one more, had a couple casualties here. What we had the Sawzall smoking, and the chainsaw's got something going on, but that'll eventually come out. So how would you rate the job here? Is this good enough? Get
A minus.
A minus. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's my first off-site job. All right, we're signing out here. Oh, and how about the orange and red, huh? The old Kubota bucket did pretty good.
Yeah.
That tooth bucket that thing's a beast. Really dug in well.
You better get you one of those.
So yeah, I gotta get one of those on the Massey. Turn the Massey bucket into a real beast. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that. I really had a good time doing it, and had fun working with Larry. But let's talk about two things. I'll get to the elephant in the room in a moment. If you use, I mentioned Google Maps earlier. If you use Google Maps, and I'll put a list up here. They've got all kinds of activities: hiking, biking, driving, moving, just a ton of them. They do not have on a tractor. I mean, come on, Google. But they do have the gondola. I mean, what is that? So I'm going to actually submit this to Google. I propose to replace that gondola thing with on a tractor, because my claim is that there's got to be more people out there riding their tractor on the road than people having the need to document or see that they were on a gondola. Anyway, last thing, elephant in the room here. What do you think? Shaved it off for the first time in my life. I was losing it up top anyway, but it's a lot more comfortable than having a mop on your head. So here's kind of pretty short in the back. I did it myself, had a little supervision from the wife, but most, 99% did it myself, and I think it turned out pretty good. So if you have any comments on that, I'd love to see them. Obviously, what do you think I did before I did this? Boom, I went to YouTube, right? And I YouTubed all, several videos, and they're all pretty much, the same. There's really not much to it, but that doesn't ease your fears much. So I just ended up doing it. So we'll see how that turns out. All right, hey, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.